Hello everyone, I'm giddy with excitement because of this beauty. I cannot wait to show you what I intend to do for this little corner I have on my entry steps. I had to take advantage of the clearance prices I found in the past 1-2 weeks in all the nurseries around me. I got even the container at a discount price. And when it comes to this absolutely stunning rose, it was 50% off. Are you kidding me? I could not pass on such a great offer given how big it is. So let me take you on a tour on what I prepared for this little corner, and then we'll beautify it together. So this absolutely beauty and gorgeous rose, it's a mini Eden rose for those of you that live across the pond. Here in Europe we know it as a Pierre de Ronsard, which is a French rose, but it's a mini version. Even though it's mini, you cannot expect for the blooms to be like little. They say the blooms will be anywhere between 6 and 7 centimeters. As you can see in this picture, it's starting with a ivory white on the outside. As the flowers get mature, it turns pinker and more luscious. So for those of you that know the Eden rose, you can imagine how this one is gonna look. And I absolutely could not pass this offer because this one has at least 2 big healthy stems, and it was around 130 euros after the discount. I'm sorry for my voice, it's cracking and giving up on me, but even for the trellis, and you cannot tell me it's not the right spot for this entryway. It's almost the same height as my wall, and after I raise it in my container, I think it's gonna fit perfectly and hide my irrigation tubing. And imagine after it starts blooming, what a centerpiece this one is gonna be. Then I prepared something for the autumn as well, because I want to underplant it as much as possible. I feel like the container is quite big. I think I can get rid a bit of the soil in the back and put it closer to the wall. I don't want to put it too close to the wall because, as you can see, it already has black spots on its leaves. This is a fungal infection that's typical to the hot, humid climates. We are not quite such a hot, humid climate as I garden here in Europe, a zone similar to 7A, but I think it might have been watered improperly on its leaves with a sprinkler or something like that. All the new growth looks nice though, so I don't worry too much about the black spots. Hopefully we'll get a hard freeze end of December, and it will take care of all these damaged foliage. But as I was saying, the pot it came in will fit easily in my container, and if I get rid a little bit of the soil in the back, I still have plenty of room in the front of the container to fit some more autumn color in. This container was at a discount because it was a little bit damaged here on the corner, so very little damage, and it was 25% off. So I think I will rotate this to the back, so I absolutely do not mind that little damage. It's a container made out of composite. I got this one from Horbach. For those who live in Europe, you know this German company that's almost a century-year-old. It does not have yet any drainage holes, but that's not a problem, we'll make them together. And as you can see, it has a 2-step situation, and I was actually thinking I can drill my drainage hole in the upper part, so I have this contour line that can hold the water for a little bit longer. Then I prepared a nice chrysanthemum for autumn. I love this tall one. This is coming from a grower in our country. It does not have a name. As you know, so many plants around here are not branded in any way, but I loved this one because as it's opening its petals, it almost looks like a dahlia, and the inside is orange, burnt orange, and the outside almost looks like it's painted and with dark shades of red. Then over here I have a Hellebore. This one I think was, after the rose, the biggest investment. This one is Montis. So some do have brand names. This Hellebore I planted before in my garden, and it absolutely returned for me reliably. It's blooming even in the late summer if it's in a shaded spot, so it's a great Hellebore. And I liked how as it gets old the petals turn a little bit red, but the very beginning stage of the plant is super white. Hellebore Montis. Then I prepared 2 Heucheras. This one I got in spring at a local nursery, and it was in a nice protected spot in my garden where I have some strawberries. And as you can see, one of my runners just took home in this spot. It does not have a name, just says Heuchera. It was around €7. Then this one I found recently. Does it have? Yeah, it was around €5. But what's beautiful about this one, it's starting a yellow color, and then as it's staying in the sun, turns to this brown, burnt orange, dark red. It's starting like this, so this is the color that is when it's first emerging, and then turns to this red, which I find almost like similar to a Japanese maple. And I figured these two would make such a nice pair, and the beautiful Hellebore would be the lighter shade to make things less orangey. So these are the plants I prepared for this season, and I was thinking, why not intermingle some bulbs in this container? I don't know if I'm shooting for too high of a plant count in this container. It might be a bit too much, but because the rose has such beautiful pink shades, I was thinking I can like preface this with a little tulips. And I had planted before this tulip. It's a double latte finola, but this one almost has a shine to it, almost looks silvery in the beginning, and when the sun glows, it's such a beautiful tulip. I had to get some more. Then I got some alliums. I loved how the shape of this flower looks, and how, I don't know, almost looks like a winter bell, or I don't know. I thought it's a cute flower, and this will be taller than the tulips. And at the very base, I was thinking I get a botanical tulip, which is much shorter, but it's way earlier blooming. And this one I think would go really well with the other colors. Because this is a protected spot, I'm expecting for the Heucheras to stay semi-evergreen for me. I have some heucheras in other spots in my garden, and depending on how beaten by the wind they are during the winter, they more or less stay alive during the winter. Then just because this one is such a fuchsia pink, and I found this new tulip that I have never ever tried before. Allegedly it's a multi-flowered stem. I thought this could be, I don't know, like a binding tulip for the situation, but this one might be a bit later. Yes, it is a bit later. It's coming April, May, while this I expect to be quite early. Yeah, they say on the package it's gonna be April, May, but I expect this one to be much earlier blooming. So hopefully we might get them all together blooming, but they might be also staggered. I don't know, we can try this out. From all the bulbs I have here, I only tested this tulip before. I have some experience with other versions of allium, you know, the bell-shaped purple ones, but this one I have never tried before. So this being it, I want to start. I brought here some soil. I want to start by drilling some holes in my container, which even without measuring, like, I approximated things, and when I got the chance in the shop to get it, I went for it, because again, not every day you found it's easy to find such a quality container at a 25% discount, and I feel like it's the perfect shape for my wall over here, even if I want to put later other containers on this other wall. I think this one will be like a step down. Even here, if here I put some other containers, it's gonna be a staggering effect, and I think that could look super nice. I'm so happy for this rose, I have no words. And for such a long time I've debated what should I plant here to make things prettier with instant color, and I feel like I finally have it. So let's drill some holes and then start arranging stuff around. I've got myself a little I don't know how to call this. I don't have a tarp where to take out all the extra soil, so I found this I usually use for seeds, to underwater my seeds, and I figured I will be making a mess over here, and maybe I can try to not have so much to clean afterwards. I don't know, you guys, if this was the brightest idea of the bunch, just because it's super thorny. Are you kidding me? I just stabbed myself, and I intend to put it in front of my drip irrigation faucets. I don't know what to say. Time will tell. Worst case scenario, I could like dethorn right around where the faucets are. I don't know what to say. So what I'm trying to do is just clear a little bit the soil behind the rose, as This is the side that is going closer to the wall. I'm trying to reuse. I think this is great soil to reuse. I'll mix it with my own soil. What I'm observing is that they put a lot of draining little stones here to keep it well drained. I don't dare to take more because I'm reaching the espalier structure inside the soil. But I think this could work. I will first bring my soil and mix it a little bit with what I took out from here. My excitement got a little bit toned down just because of how stabby these roses. I did cut myself quite a bit, but I went and grabbed some more soil because I feel like it needs to be a little bit higher than the level this container is offering. And I managed to take out all the soil in the back to get it closer to the wall. I think this should do it. So let's try and see how this is looking. This is gonna be so nice. I think this is just the right height, because in the end the soil in the pot will settle a little bit more, so I think everything will settle eventually. And as nutrients in the pot get consumed, everything will lower and settle some more. So I think this works. Let me give it a look from farther away. You guys, I'm so happy with how this container is looking. So this is the direction I'm coming every day down the steps. I feel this area is a little bit empty, so I'm debating myself whether I should be putting the second hellebore in. It does look much fuller, but on the other hand I feel like I could actually still fit in a few of the bulbs as things are right now. So the Heucheras will stay semi-evergreen. This one, at least the foliage should still look okay. This one, on the other hand, the chrysanthemum will die back after a hard frost. So as this one empties the space, I think if I put the tulips and maybe at least the allium just around, and maybe I bring a second pot here in the front of this container, I think that would be absolutely stunning. So it would take the whole thing from winter to spring. The combination of these two, oh my, I love it. So let's put some of the bulbs. I'm thinking this container alone would look very lonely here, so I'd like to add some more on both sides. I think squares, smaller squares would be too, I don't know, rigid, and I'd like to soften the situation. And I will do the following: I'll put some of the bulbs from this spot in the second planters. So even though I have 12 tulips here, I'll only use 3 of these, 3 and maybe 2 on the other side, and the rest I'll use in the second pot. Now, just because here I intend to bring a larger container, maybe this high, I will put the tulips towards the front of the container. So I'm thinking maybe around here, in a grouping of 3. And on this other side, I'll try to fit 1 or 2 or maybe 3 alliums, depending on how big the bulb is and how easily I manage the space. I feel like mulching this container would be super helpful, just to prevent the soil from splashing on my wall, and also to retain a little bit better moisture, prevent the Heucheras from dying faster. You know the drill about mulching. So these are the alliums. These will be tall, should be 90 centimeters tall, so I can definitely put them there behind the chrysanthemum. Oh, the bulbs are so small though. I did not expect that. So the bulbs are quite petite. I have 10. I'm thinking I'll use some in the second planter. 2, 4, 6, 4. I'll put 4 just in case one of them does not sprout. And I'll move a little bit the soil around the chrysanthemum and put them in a grouping 1, 2, 3, 4. I definitely know now why roses are sold usually as a bare root. The amount of scratching I got on my hands is unbelievable. Actually wore gloves, but I feel it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. I mean, it's instant impact. It's as high as my wall. Couldn't be any better. So I've planted the tulips and I've planted the allium. This one I'll keep for a separate pot, just because I feel it's absolutely different in color. I'm debating myself whether I should put some of the botanical tulips, just because they are shorter, and maybe as the Hellebore fades out, I have the smaller tulip. Let me try this also. So here I have 12 tulips. These are larger than the allium actually. I'll take 3 and maybe put one here between the 2 Heucheras, 1 here, maybe a second one here in the back, just because it should be shorter and should not compete with the other one, taller version. Alright, I'm gonna go bring some mulch. So let me just show you how the container looks as I'm coming down the steps. I absolutely love it. I just watered a bit everything. So this is the main vista, main viewing point. I adore these colors. So after the fight I put up with the rose, I think it's totally worth it. I absolutely adore how this planter turned out. I really think I need to put the smaller container, maybe round, so I can add the rest of the bulbs, and the second one over there. But absolutely stunning colors, cheerful colors. They brighten this step. I am so happy with how things turned out. Hopefully we get a few more days of beautiful autumn weather so we can tidy up the garden a little bit more. But if not, and if the weather has other plans, I'll see you with updates on Instagram. I want to thank you again for watching, and I really wish to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.